want to say that the Fulanis are already setting another trap for the man Tinubu. And I want to believe that Tinubu is smarter than this. Because I can clearly see that he has already escaped this trap. Talking about the position of Gumi regarding the issue involving Donald Trump, Tinubu, and Nigeria. Because surprisingly, Gumi is already telling the man Tinubu, summon American ambassador to Nigeria. Make him to denounce the statement of Trump. And if he refuses to denounce it, he says severe tie with America. I want to say that this is a dangerous trend. This is not a good advice. This is like a trap the man, Gumi, want to set for Tinubu. Because the question is, why is it that this Gumi has never given any good advice? This is the same man who have consistently maintained that Nigerian government should go and start negotiating with bandits. The Nigerian government should stop using kinetic approach to fight banditry. Even before the 2023 presidential election, he even went as far as saying that his followers should not vote for any candidate that will acquire more arms to fight banditry. So what is his own, where is that patriotism? Because I think perhaps, because you have seen that if America partners with Nigeria, definitely bandits will be stamped out of Nigeria. That is why he quickly wants to say, okay, the president, Senator Tinubu, severe tie with America. Because as far as I'm concerned, he is setting trap for the man Tinubu. Good thing, the Tinubu is smarter than that, because as you can see, the president has come out clearly to say that the president, Senator Tinubu, will be engaging with American government. And let me bring you the exact words used by Gumi for you to have a sense of what his perception looks like. So, according to Daily Post, this is the position of Gumi. He said, Trump's threat, summon U.S. ambassador, severe diplomatic ties, Gumi to Tinubu. You go for that to say that Islamic cleared the Sheikh Ahmad Gumi on Sunday, urged President Bola Tinubu to severe diplomatic ties with the United States, U.S., following threat of military action by President Donald Trump. Gumi said Tinubu should summon the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria to retract the threat by Trump or severe diplomatic ties with the country. Trump had threatened U.S. military action in Nigeria over alleged Christian genocide. Reacting, Gumi described Trump's threat as disrespect to Nigeria. Posting on Facebook, Gumi wrote, for Trump to threaten a sovereign country with military attack is a profound disrespect to our authority, but we can rise above it. You go for that to say that President Tinubu should summon the U.S. ambassador. They either retract their threats or with severe diplomatic ties with this irresponsible regime. He said there are lots of other options for our economic expansion and military alliance. But I want to say that this Gumi's route is a dangerous trend and it doesn't mean well. Because thank God the man, Tinubu himself, have taken a wise decision to de-escalate the situation. But I want to say that the best option for any leader when you are in this type of situation is to de-escalate the tension. And I want to believe that the approach of the government is targeted towards de-escalating, because for the president to himself to have decided to engage with the American government, it goes to show that this is really an approach to de-escalating it. We have seen the likes of Kwangwaso coming out to even proffer advice, solution, not telling the government to even escalate the crisis, when you know that ultimately Nigerian government, Nigerians, and Nigeria will be the loser. Because there's no way you can, as a country like Nigeria, go into such diplomatic route with America and want to say that you will be at the advantageous part, considering the nature of Nigeria and America. But one thing is certain, we need the partnership of America and every other foreign partner that have the competence to help us deal with this issue of terrorism. Because I begin to ask, who is apprehensive, who is afraid of imminent attack of America against Islamic terrorists? But I want to say at this point that America never said they are attacking Nigerian government. America do not have a problem with Nigerian government as to invading Nigeria to attack Nigerian government. What they are saying is that those Islamic terrorists are their major concern. And I want to say that when you talk about Islamic terrorists, so I equally understand why somebody like Gumi'S is panicking. Because when you talk about Islamic terrorists, you are directly talking about Fulani militants. This is not far-fetched. Because if you go to places like Plateau, places that have been attacked, all the news in the media, what they'll tell you that it is the Fulanis, the Fulani militants that attack them. So I think that will explain the reason we see Gumi'S maintain his position. Because you know that once there is every genuine effort to fight insurgency, fight Fulani militants, of course, he is going to be unhappy. Because these are people who have always advocated that government should treat with kid glove. He has always advocated that the government should use non-kinetic approach to fight. Because for even the Gumi'S to even before now made it clear that when the Nigerian army, Nigerian Air Force bomb bandits, that they kill bandit family members. So if you don't want to ask, bandit family members, do they stay in the bush, in the forest with the bandits? And if they do, is it sufficiently enough to say that they are not themselves bandits? So I think what we need is, number one, to de-escalate this issue and make sure that we have good relationship with American government. One, and two, that we need a partnership with America. Not just America, any other foreign partner that we have been partnering with before that gives us advantage to fight insurgency. We need them. Rather than listening to somebody who is bringing problem to escalate already tense situation. Because as far as I'm concerned, you cannot take away the fact that we have a country that is ravaged by insecurity. But I want to say that currently, the likes of Adalero, the likes of Akwashi, the likes of Tojibelo will be on the run, will be apprehensive. Because these are people who, if America definitely come here for precision bombing, they will definitely be a target. Because how can you best explain the situation where even in recent time, we have seen how bandits confidently come out from their abodes, where they hibernate in the bushes in the forest, to engage with communities. We have been shouting and been talking that it is not acceptable as a government moving, acquire monopoly of currency power, smoke these bandits out of the hiding places, set them running and bring them to justice. Because as far as I'm concerned, that's what makes the government ultimate. It's a legitimate thing to neutralize bandits in the battlefield. It's a legitimate thing to, of course, arrest and prosecute bandits to act as deterrent to others. Because personally, I was particularly happy when we saw the arrest and prosecution of those Ansaru terrorist members who are currently cooling off in prison. We understand that one of them have been convicted on the basis of possession of illegal arms and illegal mining. And as to have it, they are facing the larger charge that borders on terrorism. So the question is, we need these foreign partners who have the wherewithal, the technology to address this insecurity that currently confronts us. More so, as we now have insurgency that is metamorphosing, that's a mutating. I say it's mutating because before now, what we had, even before Muhammad Buhari, was Boko Haram, terrorism that was limited to Sambisa Forest. But currently, the terrorists we see are no longer in Sambisa Forest, but they are in the regular society, in the bushes, the forest, from state to state, moving from state to state. Because even recently, we saw the alarm raised by the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, over an imminent invasion of Southwest by these Fulani militants. Though at the time, Amateku raised about 2,000 men to comb the forest to ensure that they didn't infiltrate. Even recently, we saw a leaked memo from DSS alleging an attack in Ondo or so. So it's going to show that it is mutating, it is metamorphosing. And we need to act fast as a country, as a people. Because if you even look at what came from the governor of Borno State recently, Babagada Zulum, where he made it very clear that Boko Haram are already using drones to attack the military. I must say it's a dangerous trend that we must quickly move in to address this. Because the earlier we address it, the better. Because if we do not address it and they get to the point where they intensify and grow in that dimension, it may get to the point where they can even go to the extent of maybe seizing an airport. Once they do that, of course, they're already carving out a sovereign state for themselves. Though I pray that they cannot get to that level anyway. But when it comes to air defense mechanism, I think our attention should be shifted to that area, on how to develop and improve on our air defense mechanism. That is where we equally need these foreign partners more than ever before. Because intelligence you need to get through area surveillance, through satellites, it rests with these foreign partners. Unfortunately, I can recall in the past when Nigerian Air Force made the mistake to burn IDP camps, and before you knew it, they blame it on intelligence they gathered from their foreign partners. The point I'm trying to make is, if they could rely on their foreign partners to know the movement and location of people, it's going to show that the foreign partners have the intelligence to help us fight this insurgency. If you look at what came from a former House of Assembly member from Borno State recently, he lays credence to this position. But according to him, that when the Jonathan postponed the election for 2 weeks or so, before the 2015 election, and the Jonathan government went and bringing machineries who were foreigners, who were leveraging on technology to fight Boko Haram. According to him, they were doing excellently well. They were getting results, and they were leveraging on technology to do this. They were going for precision bombing. And according to him as well, they were using internet, using satellites through their system to monitor the movement and location of Boko Haram. And when they want to go for bombing, that they were not all more than about 2 or 3 in a chopper, in a military chopper, or call it fighter jets. And they always come back with evidence of the bombing before and after to prove that they actually hit targets. So it's going to show that partnership, strategic partnership with foreign partners is key to addressing this. But let me quickly at this point say that looking at the position of that retired former military intelligence officer is an eye-opener. And I think that should be a way to guide the president on the seriousness that this insurgency, this Islamic terrorists deserve. Because he's emphatic, or rather he was emphatic, that the ultimate aim, the intention of those who sponsor terrorism in Nigeria is to Islamize the country. And that they ultimately want to turn Nigeria into a Taliban-like type of country. So that is why you begin to ask the likes of Sheikh Gumi some questions. Because this is someone who always canvass for amnesty for bandits. And it has been proven and established that most of the bandits you see, the Fulani militants you see, are foreigners, people who are alien to Nigeria, who come all the way from Burkina Faso, all the way from Mali, all the way from Libya. Because even according to Buhari, while he was alive, in his time as president, when he met with Trump, in the first time of Trump's presidency as the president of the United States of America. But he made it very clear that most of these people are people who came out of Libya after the fall of Gaddafi. That the only training they had is how to shoot gun. So the question now is, if you are canvassing for amnesty for bandits who are operating in Nigeria, do you not give amnesty to foreigners? Do you not give amnesty to strangers who come from different part of the world, who convert here? So what is the basis of their amnesty? More so, as it's becoming increasingly clear that even those foreign partners are already becoming kings, turbined in the bushes, in the forest. Because if you know, we saw the other day, a picture we saw the other day, depicting bandits who came for peace deal in some part of Katsina State. You can clearly see someone who was turbined from the hair, from the face. It's very clear that this is not in Nigeria. So it then goes to show that these people are just coming from different parts of the world, being seconded to lead this insurgency, and that their ultimate aim is that when they eventually, God forbid anyway, succeed in capturing any area, those people who are already turbined in the bushes, in the forest, will come out to become emirs. God forbid anyway. Or can we forget in a hurry the position of course, some northerners who made it very clear that they even brought in Fulani militants into the country to remove Jonathan from office. I think this came directly from Kawu Baraji. So it got to, of course, these have equally proven that most of these people are not from Nigeria. So by the time you are talking of amnesty, who do you now give amnesty to? To foreigners? On what basis? And under Muhammad Buhari, there was a widely publicized news about even the government engaging Mietala as a then, and them demanding for 100 billion naira to stem the tide of kidnapping, maiming, killing, and all of that. Even though the then government denied it and Mietala denied it, but it was widely reported that they received such money. So I think the government should know the right direction to fight this. Talking about federal government now, but I think what is ultimate is we need synergy. We need symbiotic relationship that will be beneficial to everyone. And that symbiotic relationship should encompass federal government, state governments, local governments, traditional institutions, the locals. Of course, it should be a collective responsibility. Because the issue of insecurity, to fight it, you need everybody on board. Because it has been proven that all crime is local. And if all crime is local, the intelligence to fight it is with the locals. I think these have been proven over and again, seeing the success being recorded by the locals in the fight against these Fulani militias, because we've been seeing success from Delta State, from Ogwashuku to Abraka, and of course, I think the last one came from another particular area in Delta State. We have seen the one that was recorded by locals in Katsina State. We saw the one recorded by locals even in Zamfara State. We saw the one that came from Kwara State. So the locals have the wherewithal, the intelligence to deal with these issues. There's no argument about that. But the bottom line is, the government must, as a matter of urgency and necessity, give the locals the wherewithal to doing this. That is where I say the community-based policing initiative of federal government is a welcome development, saying that these have come to give the governors who hitherto before now complain of inability to control the security architecture in their respective states leverage, opportunity to take charge. Because personally, I've been a very strong advocate that the governors should not just be going about the name, should not just be going about with the name of the governors and the chief security officer of their respective states on paper alone, but rather that they should be allowed to parade some level of security power. Because as we speak, The governor of a state is the governor and the chief security officer of his state. Not just that, the governor has sworn an oath to protect the lives and properties of Nigerians within his state. So I think he'll be allowed to apply this level of security power to do that. Because governors have always lamented about their inability to do that. Even recently, we saw the governor of Zamfara State who came back to say that his capacity as governor, that he was able to acquire some level of technology that enables him to know the movement and locating of bandits. At the time, he was lamenting about his inability to command and control the security architecture into operation. But I want to believe that this foreign guard initiative of federal government have come to give the states that leverage, that opportunity, that security power that was lacking before now. But the unfortunate thing I'm seeing is those states that are heavily ravaged by this insecurity, occasioned by Fulani militants, now defined as Fulani, now defined as Islamic terrorists, are not jumping at this with a speed of light. I mean, the states like Zamfara, Katsina, Plateau, Kwara, Taraba, Kaduna, I was expecting that they would jump at this opportunity with the speed of light, because as far as I'm concerned, it's the way to go currently. Because even the president, Tinubu, have made it clear, even at the time he talked about forest guard, that the way it's going, he's going to give attention to state police. But let me say that before we get to the point of state police, hence what we have currently is opportunity of forest guard. We should guide it jealously, jump at it with a speed of light. Understand that as at the last count, it is only Enugu State that have come out clearly to say, yes, we are engaging personnel for this operation. Because the way it stands, I don't think money is a challenge for the state governors. Hence, they have all agreed that they now make more money as a result of federal government policy on unification of efforts at official window and subsidy on gasoline.
Yes.
So hence, money is not a challenge because the state now get more money, the federal government get more money, even the local governments get more money as a result of federal government policy. So I want to believe that going forward, we are going to see improved security in every strata of the country. But meanwhile, let me say very big thank you for that. This is Mr. Mati.